Hey guys, welcome back. It's Claytano. Thanks so much for tuning in as always, and Happy New Year. Officially the first video of 2023. I kind of wanted to make a New Year's resolution saying that I'll make a video every single day. However, I don't know if I could promise that, but I will do my best. So if you are watching this video for the second, third, or fourth time of watching one of my videos and you aren't subscribed yet, go ahead and hit that subscribe button because I don't feel like I'm going anywhere anytime soon. I have been loving Summer's War Chronicles, and they just keep, doing things right so far. So let's talk about that. In today's video, we're going to be going over the updates, some things that you guys should know about certain monsters, things that will help you hopefully not make the same mistakes that I have made in the past or, going forward. So the idea behind all my videos is that the time you spend watching them will save you X amount of time times 20 for your gameplay. So strap in. Let's go over these dev notes because there's a lot going on. I touched on it a little bit in my previous video, but mostly here, there's a bit going on. So first off, we're going to talk about the reason why you're kind of clicking on this video is Karambit. Karambit, too long didn't read, is going to pretty much be obsolete after this patch. There's not going to be a whole lot of people maintaining Karambit going into the new year. Unfortunately, not unfortunately, Karambit is kind of a pain to deal with for assassins, for Orbia players, but other than that, there's other better assassins. Lupinus is still going to be very much so relevant. However, Karambit is kind of taking a downward turn. The reason why is because there's being a change to cleaves, there's being a change to endure, there's being a change to ignore beneficial effects. And so personally, the only place that a lot of people in the top tier of the game are going to be still requiring something similar to Karambit is really Naraka, which at that point you can actually get other monsters that do similar stuff for much cheaper and be able to use those instead of Karambit and be able to take all of your Devilmons back, all of the gold and essences that you put into 15Aing your Karambit, if you did, and being able to put those elsewhere. So that's kind of what we're going to talk about today as well, because of the changes that are being made. So on that note, like, what are the monsters that are going to be replacing Karambit? For me, I'm going to be building a Cassie, which is the dark cowgirl. She has a secret dungeon right now. So if you're looking to get all those resources back from your Karambit, make sure you get a Cassie, and then you can make sure you throw her in your Altar Blessing, which just reset as well, in order to get her, 13, 14A, whatever you want to do with her. But she is going to be my main replacement for Karambit in Naraka. I'm also going to be continuing to build Lupinus. So Lupinus is a little bit harder to skill. If you don't summon a whole lot, you're going to have to use Devilmons, where Cassie, for the most part, you should be able to fully skill with just, 4 stars. If again, it's going to take a little bit of summoning to get her up, but it's a lot cheaper. You don't have to use any Devilmons into Cassie. And she virtually does everything that Karambit does, but she is an archer, which is also nice. So your Naraka teams will go from using Karambit to Cassie plus Bastet and Annabelle. That's kind of how it's gonna trend. And yeah, Karambit's just not gonna be. It's just not gonna be useful in PvP anymore either. He's just too. He's just too weak, just too squishy. People just kill him and then he dies, and then you revive him and then you just kill him again and he dies. This is just speaking off of personal experience. So not only just my personal experience, but also a lot of the other top tier players are resetting their Karambits and have already reset their Karambits. So just keep that in mind as we're going to this patch as well. The other thing now is the slight changes to Elemental Disadvantage. Talked about this a little bit before. That's great. It's going to be more beneficial for you if you're playing PvP to guess what the other player is going to use for their primary element, or if you want to use a primary element against the monsters, that's something that you can choose. But basically, just keep in mind, elemental advantage is going to play a lot bigger role going into this patch. When is this patch going to release, by the way? Not sure. My assumption is as soon as the Oracle banner is done, they're going to release a new banner, which is going to be the Beetle Warriors, which we'll talk about that a little bit today as well. But the Beetle Warriors are being released, and I'm assuming that it's going to come right after the Oracle banners. So keep that in mind. A specific date hasn't been released yet. It's saying first week of January, first week of 2023. I'm assuming it's going to be exactly right after the Oracle banners expire is when all this is going to go into effect. That's just my assumption. I could be wrong, but I don't think I am. The bombs are being changed. So they, if you land a bomb on another bomb, it explodes the previous one. If you explode a bomb, it actually gives an extra 6% damage per second that's left on the bomb. So that's a huge, increase to bombs. Do I think they're going to be meta relevant after further thought? I don't think so. There's one, well, so the thing is, like, there's one really viable immunity monster right now, and that's Wusa. The others really aren't that viable. You have like Wind Undyne and some other ones, but Wusa is kind of a common monster because there was a banner for him as well. And if the other team just builds Wusa, chances are, your bombs are going to do nothing. So not only do you need a double bomber with Sierra plus, Cobalt Bomber, one of these, but then you're also going to need a buff stripper as well, which, then at that point, you're probably just going to die because you'll have either no tank or you'll have either no sustain or something like that, right? So that's my only issue with bombs, is that I don't think they're going to be viable. It's very similar to like cleave comps. Cleave comps right now, meaning, you try to put Galleon in there with a lot of damage, AoE damage or whatever, like, Galleon, Lucian, Tiana, something like that. It's still very hard because just the way that the mechanics work in Brawl Arena or in Challenge Arena, and the way that you have to wait for the mana to come first before your skills that can actually be used. That's kind of that's the main thing that's holding bomb and cleave comps back for right now. Until that changes, I don't think it's really going to change the meta, and you can just build a Wusa. But that's the thing, is if the other team doesn't have a Wusa or they don't have any immunity, then sure, yeah, you could probably do something like this and it would work just fine. But maybe not. I still don't see it being in the meta for maybe a couple more patches, maybe one or two. We'll see. We'll see what happens. I'm interested, but I don't think it's gonna happen. That's just my assumption. This is the main thing that's affecting Karambit and Cleef and all these other monsters right here, is the ignore beneficial effect on the target, deals damage that ignores targets, right? So it doesn't go through Endure or Soul Protection anymore. And Endure pops when it takes death damaging damage instead of like 20% of HP like it does. I think we've all seen this change and we understand how it works. But death denial, ignoring damage, endure, and soul protection. So actually, this is something different. This is something different. So this is saying that, and I'm pretty sure this is what this is saying. And I've checked with other sources, and again, I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure this is how this is working. The ignore beneficial effect change is currently changing the way that these monsters perceive ignoring, endure, and soul protection, right? Fire Raven, Water Martial Cat, Wind Magic Knight, Dark Sky Dancer, Dark Cowgirl, right? Dark Cowgirl, again, that's your free Naraka unit right there. Dark Cowgirl ignores beneficial effects on every single skill, including her basic attack. So that's your Fire Raven replacement for all your PvE content right there. Don't even think twice about it. Remove this guy, get your resources back. and build Dark Cowgirl. That's what most people are doing. You can do whatever you want, but that's what most people are doing for PvP and for Naraka. Mostly you're not going to need Fire Raven anymore because he's not gonna do what he needs to do, which is do this, right? So other units, look to them. Now this specifically, okay, this specifically, Death Denial, ignoring damage, Endure, and Soul Protection. Death Denial, ignoring damage, Endure, and Soul Protection. These units right here, let's just take a look at 4-star Amazon Dark. I forget her name. Mara. The way I'm reading this and the way a lot of other people are reading this is that Dark Amazon, and I think this is the way it works in Korea already, is that Dark Amazon doesn't care about Endure or Soul Protection, and it just goes right through it. And, well, Soul Protection for one, Dark Amazon, for example, all of her skills, you can't be revived if you get killed by a Dark Amazon. So she is going to be like almost a guaranteed monster that you have to build. Otherwise, you might not be able to get past some of these other units like Nigong. I think some people were saying that Dark Amazon was created this way to nerf Nigong because Nigong is absolutely insanely broken right now in PvP, and only a Dark Amazon is really the counter. So Dark Amazon is going to be one of the for sure units you should be building in the upcoming patch. So Dark Cowgirl, Dark Amazon. I think Dark Amazon was from a previous battle pass or something, somehow, but she was free. She was definitely free at one point. And then Dark Cowgirl, you have the secret dungeon now for her at this time. So make sure you're building both of these guys. It's going to be pretty important. Wind Pioneer, also another good option, but I don't think, I think it only has it on one skill, versus Dark Amazon, it's all her skills, which makes it a lot more valuable, where Pioneer, I think it's just on the 3rd skill, which it's probably going to do a lot more damage than the Dark Amazon. I could actually 15A Wind Pioneer, but with everything that is going on here, with all these other stuff, I reset my Chiwu and put it into Wusa. So I think that's like a huge thing as well, because Wusa is just going to be super OP in PvP, mainly PvP. A lot of this talk is based on PvP. Unrevivable, new harmful effect, does not revive when defeated while having the effect, right? Fire Mermaid. We talked about this a little bit already in a couple other videos, but that's still probably an irrelevant unit. Fire Mermaid, nobody wants to build one of those. So, okay, some of the monster changes. We'll briefly breeze through these. There's nothing crazy that's happening. I don't think any of these units are going to be viable just yet. No Sylphs, no Sky Dancers, Dark. Just a little fix, right? Magic Knights aren't doing anything crazy. Damage increase, rate increase, removal added. I mean, Light and Dark, I don't think those are going to be meta. Like, they're not going to be... Any Light and Dark monster isn't going to really dictate the meta unless it's, like, super overpowered, and all you need is that monster, like Nigong, and you can, like, straight to the top. But I don't think any of these changes are going to do that. Joker, Mermaids, nothing crazy here, right? Water Beast Monk. So here's the thing for my Orbia fellow players. A lot of people are thinking like Water Beast Monk might be a good option for Orbias. I don't think it's a good option for Orbias because, I mean, if Defend was listed in one of these ignore beneficial effects, then sure, great, it's a good option, but it's not. So anybody who's building an assassin is going to build Lupinus at this point, and Lupinus is just going to go straight through you and just kill you. So the only thing that's going to be your saving grace at this point is going to be the new monster that's coming out, which is the water beetle warrior. And I don't know if there should be a yeah, I think there's a water beetle warrior update in here. New Year special coupon, new content spotlight right here. So this this water beetle warrior. Well, we can talk about this a little bit too because we haven't talked about this. Let me see if there's anything else going on here first before we bounce over to that. And there is. So there's some updates to the summoners, right? Main one being Cleef. The endure duration is decreased, which is great. And then the endure duration is decreased here. So he's not going to have continuous endure, which is great because now he has no counter because of the ignore beneficial effects. So the only thing really that you're going to be wanting to build now, again, is Mara, because Mara, maybe win Pioneer if you want, but super expensive. But Mara is going to be like a pretty important unit, honestly. That's just the way I see it happening. Orbia's got a nerf here, a little bit of buff on their other units, other elements, but the main element has been nerfed, which is sad. And then Kina got the biggest upgrade, I think, for the most part. Changed damage to recovery nearby targets, remove 2 beneficial effects now for wind, skill cooldown, range increased, right? Light just got a buff, HP decreased upon revival effects for all levels, max number. So this got a nerf. Dark got a nerf. I think Dark got a nerf on all summoners, and the other ones got buffed. I think that's the main thing is like every single time you go into a brawl arena, Dark is the one that gets nerfed for every single summoner. Not nerfed or banned. Dark is the element that gets banned. So I think they're just trying to fix that. But there's a ton of buffs for Kina, which I'm not sure why there wasn't more buffs for Orbia, unless this damage increase is like massive, right? It has to be massive. Yeah, like Thunderstrike, random range decreased, damage increased. Like Thunderstrike, okay, that could be potentially good. Last damage increase, burn duration increase, you know, whatever. It doesn't, I don't think it really is going to make that much of a difference. Orbia's basically getting a nerf, and it's sad, but that's that. So talking about Orbia, though, the reason why she's getting a nerf is because she's actually getting a buff. And if you, we'll come back to this in a second, but if you are playing Orbia, you must get this monster, Sir Neptune. The only thing that's a little bit concerning is that this monster is supposed to have Endure for the summoner, and it doesn't say that it has it, but I have faith that this is incorrect, and it's going to have Endure. So basically, what Water Beetle Knight does is when the summoner takes lethal damage, it has Endure, and it gets healed, and it has continuous recovery. All these things happen as soon as you take lethal damage. And I might be able to pull up my Discord and show you guys the actual skills here, if you just give me 1 second. By the way, while I'm pulling this up, if you guys haven't joined my Discord yet, make sure you guys do that, because there's a ton of good information in here, such as what I'm about to pull up, that you'll get before anybody else. And if you guys want the link, it's down below in the description, discord.gg/Claytano. And yeah, so I have it right here. So Water Scarab, let's see if I can blow this up. I don't know if I can. So Water Scarab right here, all right, has these skills. So Lance Charge, charges forward to attack enemies within range, launching them into the air with a certain chance, probability, and reducing their defense. So defense break on Lance Charge. Iron Wall Shield. The power of the shield grants movement speed reduction to enemies within range and increases critical resistance and continuous recovery to allies within range. Okay, so continuous recovery up, which is great. More survivability for Orbia. Critical resistance, great. More survivability for Orbia. All that's good. And then this last one here is the ultimate. Creates an area of shield that grants movement speed reduction to enemies within range and increases critical resistance to allies within range every second before recovering. This effect only applies within the shield's area. The amount healed is proportionate to the target's max HP. Okay, so it's proportionate to the target's max HP, not Beetle Knight's max HP. And then lastly is the skill cooldown, which is a 3-minute cooldown, mind you. Scarab Knights are immune to taunt. When a summoner takes lethal damage, the damage is ignored. Afterwards, grants endurance to the summoner and restores the summoner's HP. The amount healed is proportional to the target's max HP, meaning the summoner's max HP, not the Beetle Knight's max HP. So this is great news for Orbia because she's not going to get one shot anymore. However, it is a 3-minute cooldown, so you only get one shot at it, and you got to hopefully make the best. But it is, you know, survivability. She's going to get her shield as well from her passive, and it's hopefully going to give Orbia a fighting chance. So the main thing, what I'm trying to, you know, instill into you guys is, if you're an Orbia player, make sure you get this monster. Otherwise, you will, you know, you're not going to win. I mean, you might win, but like, this is a must-have for Orbia players. A must-have. Will you ban this if you're playing against Orbias? Potentially. The other must-have for Orbia players right now in PvP is going to be any type of provoking monster. So you'd use a provoke plus a Beetle Knight. And then at that point, you know, you kind of just run around as an Orbia, and knowing that you have 2 lives, which is kind of cool. Maybe even 3 lives with the shield. So that's one thing. But if the Orbia player knows that you're going to ban this every single time, that means they just bring 3 other monsters that are relevant. And, you know, it's almost like going into a fight knowing that you're going to be using those 3 monsters, and that's it, right? So that is kind of an upper hand as well. So just keep that in mind if you leave the Beetle Knight in, what you have to deal with. But if you remove the Beetle Knight, then you're kind of just playing into their hand. That's kind of how I'm going to play it as an Orbia main. The other ones, I haven't heard or seen too much play from the other ones. They're probably not going to be that crazy, but once they come out, I'll do a who to choose video, just like I do on every other monster that comes out. I think you get either the fire one or the wind one for free through a monster story, if I'm not mistaken. And I'm not sure which one it is, but they both have provokes, which is nice. So, I mean, if you're an Orbia player and you're looking to have a provoke unit and you don't have like water, Fire Panda, you don't have Water Chimera, and you don't have, even Rakan right now is kind of an interesting provoke monster. I've seen some players do well with Rakan. But for the most part, blue one is the meta changing unit for Orbia, and will hopefully give Orbias a fighting chance in higher arena play. So this is the big unit that everybody's been waiting for. The other thing that's happening is this hero area. I think this is like an extension of the current world. Hero area is available after progressing area exploration. World of Fissure area exploration. Okay. Hero area exists. So this is, yeah, area exploration. Okay. Hero area exists on each continent, and there are a total of 6 hero areas. So this is an extension on top of the areas for each continent. Monsters from each area are much more powerful than the ones from the normal fields. You can obtain, you know, these things, craft 5-star hero legendary runes with alchemy using the engraved stones. Okay, awesome. Tough leather and altered leather can be used to craft outfits. Great. You can also obtain magical rune pieces and engraved stones of each weekly quest. So this means that they're probably going to come out with more outfits, which is cool. I haven't even gotten all the outfits from the current ones, so still working on those. I need a lot of yarn balls, and I just don't have them. There are also boss creatures in hero areas that appear randomly. This is nice. This is kind of like what happens now currently while you're like, doing your repeat quests, there's just like a random boss that takes forever to kill, and it has like 4 people attacking it, compared to the normal things. I'm assuming that's going to be kind of similar. I hope it's actually like a bigger world boss type thing. Maybe not as strong as the world boss, but maybe stronger than the current area bosses that are in the game. And then somewhere in between, and you can just like hunt these things and get like random rare equipment drops. Like that would be kind of sick, right? Like give like more active stuff to do like that, like hunting, and then switch all of the raids to weekly. I think that would be cool. The effects for each hero area are as follows. There's just little bonuses for each thing. So that's the other thing that's happening. The last thing that I wanted to talk about in today's video is the updates for the month of January, if I can find it. Oh, I did want to talk about this. I'll open this up too. Let me see, guys. Yeah, scenario. Thursday update, January update roadmap. Here we go. So we have the January update roadmap. So this is all that's happening. I'm assuming, again, probably in the next 3 to 4 days, right after the Oracle banner is done, you'll have your new area, new monster, and new monster story. This is where you get your free Beetle Knight, right? So that's the first thing you want to do when you log into the game. Go to your monster story, get your free Beetle Knight, free 5-star monster. Again, I'm not sure I think it's green. I'm gonna assume it's green because this is green. I think it's green. Third week, I'm assuming right after Beetle Knight ends, because you typically have 2 weeks on the banners. Right after this ends, you're gonna have this new monster, which is the free LDNet 5 Heart Magician. And I made a video on that previously as well. Korea got it. I think this is when we're going to get some new rewards to Collection Challenge Season 3, Conquer the Spires of Ascension, Conquer the Attribute of Ascension. So this is maybe some new rewards here. Funny enough, I've already beaten my level 70 Dark Spire and my regular Celestial Spire as well, up to a level 100. So I'm not sure if I'll need this at that point. Plus I have Nikki now, which is kind of the reason why I was able to beat it. But this should help everybody else beat it as well at that point. And then we have another new raid. I'm assuming this is going to be the guild raid. I don't think there's going to be any more like regular raids anytime soon. I hope not, because right now it's currently content overload. But then we have the Hell Lady is going to be coming out as well, which don't have too much information on her just yet. But once I get it, I will let you guys know, make another video on the Hell Ladies, and hopefully spread some more insights on her. And yeah, that's the main thing that's happening in this month. We also have the this survey, the service satisfaction survey. So I did want to bring this up to you guys because I've noticed a couple of people have been like getting tired of the game, like fatiguing a little bit already. I don't think it's gonna last, because I actually feel like they're doing a good job with like getting feedback from the players. So that's just one thing I wanted to mention to you guys as well. So I'm not sure what you guys have responded on this particular survey, but if you do, I encourage you to kind of definitely speak your mind and actually do it. So you guys have like 3 days left to go over this survey. It ends on January 4th. I'm not sure why it ends, but it could be because they're making decisions on January 4th. So again, make sure you guys get in and do your survey. A couple of the questions on here: which of the major updates for Summer's War Chronicles are you satisfied with? I'm pretty satisfied with a lot of things. The elite raids are great, but I can't say that I'm happy with them because there's just too many. They are a chore, and that's the main thing. Like, there's just too much content right now, which is funny that I'm saying that, because in other games I'm like, more content, it's boring, it's a boring game. But I think right now there's just so much going on and it's hard to keep up with, where they can kind of spread it out a little bit more and it would be nice. I think there's like a couple different things that they can change to the game, and it would help the fatigue a little bit more. So What are areas of Summoners War Chronicles do you think need improvement? The number of daily progress content feels like homework. It does. And I'm glad that they have this as an option because they're literally aware that it's a problem. I think Arena needs to go back to autoplay only and defense. And defense needs to be equal again. The change to Challenge Arena added a huge chore to the daily progress, and it is no different than Brawl Arena now. Also going to open up more time for Brawl and Moon Shadow, which will also make it feel less of a chore. If there was more times that you can do Battlefield and Brawl Arena, even if it was like set to certain days and it was open up 24/7, then I think that would be great. Also having to do Battlefield 6 times a day, 3 times a day if you don't refresh is a lot of time that it takes to do that. It's probably at least an hour's worth of your time to do Battlefield every day. Like that's a long time to be playing a game, and that's just one piece of content, right? To do one piece of content, it's going to take you an hour or more, and you could potentially just lose and get queued up with a whole bunch of dummies and just get like 3,000 stones. So that's the thing. What would you like to see added or improved in Karos Path of Growth? Give a better reason to play Path of Growth and Subjugation other than gear. So I meant like Path of Training. Path of Training. I'll update this. And Subjugation other than just Transcendence materials. Add better rewards to the Subjugation shop. Like right now, all you can do is buy random gear. Like give me a reason that I would want to get Subjugation tokens. Like what? There is no reason. I just buy random gear and I guess just disassemble it right away. Why not give me like maybe the ability to like buy sky stones or the ability to buy stuff that is specific for gear, so that way I can progress a little bit more. I have like 30,000 subjugation tokens just sitting there. Like, is it really your intention for us to buy 4-star equipment, 5-star equipment, whatever it is, and then just immediately disassemble it to get like whatever those like little skinny tall stones are, whatever they're called? How often do you play Secret Dungeon? I haven't played a single Secret Dungeon since it came out. I just don't think running repeat quests is like the best way to go. Like repeat quests for a Secret Dungeon, I'd rather get Karos tickets and just farm runes. That's it. How to open Secret Dungeons, obtaining materials to open them, that needs to change. Like give us a different way to open up Secret Dungeons versus using our hard-earned repeat quests to do that. How often do I play Expedition? Every single day. And increase it. Change the special Expedition boss on a monthly basis. That's what I think should be done for the Expedition. I think someone said in Korea they change it every single day. I think that's a little too much. I think once a month is good. Otherwise, it'll still feel like a chore having to, have different monsters and different things every single day. I think that would add on to the chore if it was changed to be this, every single day. I think every month, great. It's a new month, new possibilities, new opportunities. Awesome. It's fresh. It keeps things interesting. But it isn't a chore. I can set my team every single month and just run it on the side while I'm doing other things. What would you like to see improved in Trial of Ascension Inspires? Honestly, nothing really inspires. The only thing is like autoplay is pointless if I have to stop every 10 levels to play. Special dungeons, have the entries for special dungeon accumulate instead of losing out if I forget to stop the autoplay. It's just a quality of life thing. Like there's so many people when the Trial of Ascension reset that just completely missed out on like potentially like 30 scrolls because they just didn't know that they had to stop every 10 levels. And I had like not anxiety attack, but like I had anxiety for missing out on the scrolls because I was auto playing while I was like doing Christmas shopping, and I forgot to like stop it on certain floors. So I just think like that's like just a horrible quality of life thing. They have the repeat, which is great, but then it totally just gets rid of that whole aspect. And I don't think like telling people to like only having it repeat 10 levels and then stopping to go do your special dungeon, I don't think that's the fix. I think the fix is just to accumulate your special dungeon entries versus stopping the repeat. Because I would love to just go through 0 to 100 on repeat while I'm doing something else, and then come back to glory of rewards and be able to do all of my special room dungeons at once on repeat, and spend most of my manual time in Battlefield because I have to play that for 6 hours a day, and Brawl Arena because I have to time those very specifically. Those are the things, like, because I have to time those things and like play those things all the time every single day, and the fact that I have to also, manual play and stop TOA every single 10 levels, like that's where it gets too much. I don't think TOA needs to be the manual play. PvP should be the manual play. Other things should be a little bit more easygoing and just quality of life. Anyway, ruptures. What's my thought on ruptures? Open only one rupture per day and add new variety of game modes. So like, why does there need to be Sunken Ruins and Dark Sky or whatever it's called? Like, they give essentially the same rewards. Just like combine the rewards and let us do only one rupture a day. Just like one rupture a day, combine the rewards, make things easier. You can even make it like a manual gameplay type thing if it's only once a day, and then just have like 7 different types of ruptures throughout the week, and that would be awesome. And then you'd have to change the quest line for having to do 30 of these things. Like, that's, I think, excessive and horrible quality of life as well. But I mean, it's there that people don't have to do it in a day, I guess. And then I think another game mode that would be cool, Endless Distorted Sky, would also be, Distorted Sky. Dark Sky, Distorted Sky, would also be interesting, like TOA, but with hundreds of monsters needing to be killed by the party. I think that would be fun, interesting. I don't know if that would be a rupture, because ruptures need to end at some point, but like hordes of mobs that just continuously come in, and then it's kind of like an endless TOA party mode with a bunch of more mobs, and like you can hopefully go up, and there's like a ranking system of how many people can, how far people have gotten. I don't know. Something like that would be cool, I think. How often do you participate in elite raids? Every single day, recharge more entries. Make all raids weekly like Foggy, and increase rewards. Helps fatigue. I think that would be an easy fix. Right now, having to do raids manually is like exhausting. It's easy to find parties when you're in a good guild, but for people, I can imagine that it's hard finding good, people without friends. It's probably hard. What would you like to see improved in elite raids? Nothing. I think elite raids as what they are good. They're super fun. I really enjoy Naraka. I enjoyed trying to figure out White Castle. I think Foggy is really cool as well. It has a cool concept. Right, like after you've already done it or you figured it out, it has less of like a fun factor. So I don't want to forget that, like, I had a lot of fun playing those raids. Elite raids are a good difficulty level, but just a chore to run every single day. So I think make them all weekly, and then you can do more. I don't know, more rewards, or maybe not more rewards. Maybe just make them weekly and have the progression slower. That's possible, I suppose, but more rewards is probably just a better option. The challenge arena, this is something I talked about already. Change it back to how it was at NA launch. The debuff, so this is kind of concerning to me that they put some of these questions in here, like buff and debuff system according to seasonal monster classification. I don't want to deal with that. Like, maybe put that in Brawl Arena. Challenge Arena, man, I just wanted that to be like easy. I just want that to be easy. Brawl, Battlefield, like the manual PvP content, that's the stuff you can kind of mess around with, in my opinion. Challenge Arena should just be like a AI chess match. Like, it was kind of cool having an AI chess match previously, but this this feels like they're, maps with various structures and gimmicks. That would be cool in Brawl Arena. It wouldn't be fun in Challenge Arena when I'm the only one playing and I just lose every single arena offense because some random Lupinus jumps over a wall and I get hit by a trap and I'm sitting there. Like that's not fun. I don't think that would be fun. I don't think it would be fun. Season specific monster ban system. No, keep the monster ban, the debuffs and gimmicks and everything. I think that would be fun in Brawl Arena. But the fact that Challenge Arena isn't even anymore and has a buff to the defense and like all this other stuff, no, change it back. Change it back. And you'll actually probably have a lot more people playing Challenge Arena again because that was like the auto arena test that I would do, PvP wise. I could just auto PvP, and then when I wanted to play Brawl and like, take it to the next level and play manually, then I would jump on and do, manual Brawl Arena. I actually really enjoyed Challenge Arena the way it was previously. It was a little weird at first, but I really enjoyed it. So what would you like to see improved in Challenge Arena? Literally all of the above. Remove manual play. I'm glad that they are aware of it because they put it in here. So other people have been giving feedback on it. Improve/remove the buff for the defense team. Matching system by each rank. Yep. All of this needs to change. How the tickets are refilled. I mean, maybe not how the tickets are refilled, but basically all of the above. Just trying to let them know that everything needs to change. Brawl Arena, when do I play? Dude, whenever I can. I hate the fact that there's a time zone limit. Like, it literally is just the worst. Yeah, this would be fun. Add a friendly mode where you can battle friends or guild members. Sure, that would be fun. They had that in Sky Arena, so why not? But this is the main thing, like add more play times, 24/7 or make it 24 hours a day during certain days of the week. Even that I think would be like an interesting thing. So like, oh, today's Brawl Arena day. Everybody's jumping on doing Brawl Arena throughout the entire day. Oh, today's Battlefield Arena day. Everybody's jumping on and doing Battlefield. And just like, maybe it just switches back and forth every single day. Every other day is one or the other. And then you have one Saturday, which is, Brawl. The other Sunday is Battlefield. And then it switches back to the next week. One Saturday's Battlefield, Sunday's Brawl. If it needs to be divvied up that way, if there's not enough players to queue, if that needs to happen, then it needs to happen. I would prefer longer queue times whenever I want to play, and being able to do more while queuing would also help that, like being able to go into another dungeon or being able to do other things while I'm queuing will help it seem like I'm not queuing for that long, if that's possible. So I think there's some things that they can fix in the time zones. It's the same thing for Battlefield. I like Battlefield, but I think removing monsters and only having summoners fight would be an interesting change, just because there's a lot of like cheese tactics that are kind of not fun to play with or against. Like just a random Sekhmet comes out of nowhere all by itself, and then you see it coming and it just like one shots you. Like that's kind of not fun. But I do tend to target Sekhmets that are just like randomly coming out from around the corner. Like that's a thing. Like you could send a monster out around a corner and like kill somebody. It's kind of fun. But I do think that having so many monsters and so many players, it's difficult to like really play with any skill. You kind of just gotta, I mean, there's ways to like target the summoner, but there's still like too much where I can't target the summoner, especially on like mobile. It's impossible to play Battlefield on mobile. It really is. I do it just so that way I can hopefully get carried by my team while I'm, on the last round of the Battlefield for the day. And I'm just like, I got to get this done, because if not, I'm going to miss out on like 50,000 Sky Stones today. Oh, it is right now. Like there's just a lot of things that are just like, it's just a chore. But I do think removing monsters and only having summoners fight would be interesting. I think it would make things a lot more team oriented versus just like people running around with their heads cut off. And it's right now, it's literally just a shit show at that point. Or reduce the number of monsters to 1 instead of 3. Like you just have one guy with you, you know, build your segment. Fine, great. Maybe I just bring my Beetle Warrior with me and then I have like a Cleef buff. Cool. Or if I just want to go full nuke, right? Just give it, I think just 3 monsters might just be too much. I think it would be an interesting thing to like have only the summoner and then maybe add more summoners. I know that's kind of like defeating the purpose of the whole queue times and like making sure that there's more people playing, but I think that would be an interesting change, to just have one monster or just your summoner. What would you like to see improved in Battlefield? How it opens in a limited time frame. That's awful, 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 awful. It's just, yeah, even more of a chore. Monster balance adjusted every 2 months. I think once a month is too often. Once every 2 months is probably right around where it should be to not feel stale. Once a quarter is probably too long. Regardless, I mean, either way, I think when it needs to be balanced is when it needs to be balanced. Once a month might be interesting because it goes with every season. But yeah, I mean, once a month or once every 2 months. Once a quarter is way too long. Which monster do you think are urgent need of balance adjustments? I don't know. It made me pick an option. Nat 5 monsters of light and dark attribute. Make them better. Why not? Which summoner do you think is an urgent need of a balance adjustment? Orbia. Make it better. Like, there's literally just Cleef and Kina in the top ranks. Cleef mainly, then Kina, then Orbia. Like, I don't think nerfing Cleef is the answer. I think buffing Orbia. Like, the way I see it, and the way I talk about it too, is Cleef is the best knight monster in the game, right? He's a part of your team. He's the best tank in the game, as he should be. He's your summoner, he's your main character, he's got the best gear, etc., etc. He's got the best skills and everything. You could change his attribute, great. Kina is the best support in the game. You know, full team revive, not anymore, but I mean, I felt like that was not the worst thing in the world. Like, Kina should be the best support in the game, period. Light, dark, you know, all the different, you know, classes, whatever, all the different elements, she should be the best support in the game. Orbia, damage dealer, mage, awesome. She should be the best mage in the game. That's how it should be. I think Cleef is by far the best tank in the game. I think Kina is slightly the best support in the game. I mean, for the most part, she is. Like, you can argue that she's not, but you can argue that she is for sure. With some of the things that she can do, I would say she's the best support in the game. Orbia, is she the best damage dealer, best mage in the game? I don't think so. Like, really, I don't think so. I mean, yeah, I just no. I mean, if you think she is, then comment down below, but I don't think she is. So I do think that Orbia is the one that needs to be changed to be the best damage dealer in the game. Give her something cooler. Give her a better strip on her light skill 2. Give her a better, you know, defense break on her wind thing. Make it like, I don't know, give an attack boost with her wind skill or something, right? Like, just make her the best mage in the game. And then everything will kind of be equal and balanced, and people can play their role how they want to play. The thing with Orbia right now is she's not the best mage in the game, and since she is a summoner, if you kill the summoner and the way that the other parts of the game work with mana and all these other things, if you take out the summoner, you instantly lose whatever you're playing, whether it's PvE, PvP, Battlefield, doesn't matter. You kill Orbia, she's horrible survivability, not the best mage in the game, and if you literally just kill her, then everything's done. Like, that should not be. It's unbalanced. So she's the one that needs to be fixed, not these other two, in my opinion. Orbia needs to be the one that's fixed. Maybe give her a buff removal on her basic attack. Like, that would be kind of cool. It kind of counters these two a little bit, right? But it's not super overpowered because you can still just kill her and win the game. That's the thing. Like, you could just kill her and win the game. So make her stronger. Please. Based on what criteria do you want the balance of summoners and monsters to be adjusted? PvP. I think that's the reason. Like, the PvE content is hard and all, but the PvE content is also just kind of like there in order to get stronger, so that way you can eventually rank up in PvP. I think that's kind of like the whole point of the game. So you should base the updates based on the PvP meta. Would I recommend it to a friend? Yeah, absolutely. I'm talking to all you guys. I recommend everybody watching this video plays the game. I think, I mean, I've already recommended it to my friends. Recommended it to my family over Christmas, and they're playing. They're in my guild now too. Why would you recommend Summer's War Chronicles to your friends? Look, it's no secret. I have a horrible relationship with CompToUs. They blacklisted me for Sky Arena because of multiple different reasons. I was immature back then, but also I feel like there was just a misunderstanding of like how everything was happening with myself as a content creator, and I still like playing this game. I even told myself I would never play another game from CompToUs ever again, but Chronicles is, in my opinion, the best mobile game I've played in a very long time. It's just a bit too much content with all the new stuff, and takes 6+ hours of active gameplay per day to do everything, and trying to time Brawl/Battlefield is tiring. Overall, I enjoy it and would love to see it thrive as I continue to post videos about it on YouTube. And that's it. That's all it is. Like, it's a great game. I think it's got a lot of potential still. And I really enjoy the fact that they are asking their players of what they want to do with the game. Hats off to CompToUs. I really feel like it's a different development team within CompToUs that's running Chronicles than Sky Arena. It has to be, because I feel like none of this stuff ever happened with Sky Arena when it probably should have a long time ago. But anyway, that's about it, guys. Much longer video than I thought it was going to be. If you guys like content like this, I love making it. I love talking about things. I love analyzing things. And I like going over that stuff with you guys. So if you want to see more of it, please go ahead, leave a like, comment down below. If you've made it this far, you're a real one. You might as well subscribe if you haven't already. Just check if you're already subscribed. If not, just hit the subscribe button. It's easy. And then also, yeah, don't forget to join the Discord, because of I am going to come out with a full Nat 5, Nat 4, Nat 3 tier list for all the different summoners and locations of the game. And it's going to be epic. It's going to take a while, but it's going to be primarily living in the Discord channel, so that way you guys can pull it up whenever there's new monsters added to the game. You can just see like, oh wow, this is new, this is where they rank, this is what they're good for, this is why I should get it. And then you can watch the video of me explaining why they're at where they're at. So that's going to be kind of the plan going forward. So jump in the Discord. We actually have a better community in the Claytano Discord than they do in the Chronicles Discord. Don't tell them I said that, but it's true. People in there are awesome, and it's a good time. So anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. As always, stay soupy, don't be potatoes, and I will see you guys in the next one. Happy New Year, everybody. See ya.